guys. Excuse me, hold on one more time. What's up, guys? It's me, Jacob Evans. Pickles. We back at it. Grinding it out. I've been slacking lately on my content, and I apologize. I've been a little busy, right? I've been distracted with things that are kind of like just unnecessary, right? There's these like thoughts and emotions, right? And then like I run in circles sometimes, and I have a Dr. Pepper can on the floor. I just noticed it. It's kind of bothering me, but we'll come back to that. Where's my other light at? I'm missing the light, aren't I? One moment. And they run me in circles because it's like I can't get to the bottom of it because I don't know. So I asked Gemini. I was like, Gemini, my mind is being dishonest with me. And it replied, hold up one second, I gotta make sure I look good. I feel like I have a really wide stance right now. I do look good. I look a little extra greasy, don't I? I need one more light. One second. Alright, there we go. Are there shadows? Are there shadows cast? Shadows cast. All that remains. Do I look extra greasy? I'm glad I do. I'm going for this like extra greasy, not shaving look thing, right? Okay, so Gemini, right? I've come to really appreciate the comprehensive explanation of psychological and philosophical issues and behaviors that us humans display towards one another. It really gives a nuanced take on very unique situations. Have you ever met somebody and it's really hard to talk to them, right? Or maybe you thought a couple things, right? And you felt a couple ways about something or someone. And then you go to approach this situation or this person, and you're met with an avoidance feeling. The approach avoidance conflict. It's really a unique situation where your brain analyzes the situation and goes, this is not worth the energy it would take to complete the task or talk to this person perhaps, and so it just shuts you off, it shuts you down. I've had this experience a couple times with a few people in my life, and I was always really curious as to what was going on. It often felt like mind control or possession, because it's like, I know how to talk to people. I can walk up to a person and say, hi, hello, my name's Jacob, nice to meet you. But it's a really unique situation, right? Because human beings are capable of sending and receiving data through a variety of methods, right? Feel free to go to Gemini and ask. It'll give you a detailed breakdown of how that is possible, because if I sit here and explain it to you, you're going to be like, Jake, take your psych meds. I'm going to be like, I already did. But it's unique, right? Because radio waves exist all over, right? And our bodies are made of water and ions that can intake these radio waves. And if you're an intelligent person and you have the basic understanding of certain fundamentals of philosophy, psychology, spiritualism, mysticism, and you just fucking believe, your brain, if you tell your body to do something, it kind of it'll learn to do it over time, right? Training, limit testing, stress testing, pushing the limit, being better than you were the day before. They can coalesce into something fantastic. And I, me, Jacob Evans, am absolutely fantastic. if you'd like to know more on the avoidance approach conflict, Gemini, Google AI, download it, ask it. How do I ask a question first off? This is very important because if you do not ask the right question, you will not get the right answer. Anyways, let's play some guitar. So I was out doing some yard work today, right? Got my leaf blower in hand. I'm like, whoosh, whoosh. Do you guys ever use leaf blowers? What do you think about them? Is it silly? Should I just break it? I don't know. Because like sometimes I feel like I'm just blowing it all over the place and I'm not like actually getting anything done, right? Then other times I feel like I'm doing like mad work, I'm just getting it in, I'm getting it done, right? But okay, so I have these, I'm in the basement, right? And our windows have like these big basement window wells, right? And I try to like scoop some of the leaves out and stuff, but like there's still leaves at the bottom. I'm like, how the fuck do I get these leaves out, right? So I take a leaf blower and I blast it, right? And it goes whoosh, and then it just like falls back down and makes a big mess. And I'm like, oh, well, this this is a mess. What am I doing here? These leaves, they're everywhere. What do I do? Anybody else? Anybody else? It's just me. Yeah, this might come in a little loud. Hold on, I'm missing something very important. Please stay. This is a really bad idea. Don't ever put your guitar in it. Custom Seiko. Sick drip, I know. It's pretty sweet. Okay. I thought it was kind of funny. Okay, so last night, right, we get hit with some heavy thunderstorms, severe thunderstorms, right? And I'm sitting there and I'm spacing off. Not thinking about Jack, and my phone goes off, and I'm like, oh geez, what's going on? And it's like tornado, literally like coming down on you, and I'm like, I don't think that's gonna happen, and it didn't happen, but I thought it was funny because we have a lawn chair that sits in my front yard, and it's just kind of like a redneck lawn chair, just hanging out, hardcore, dude. It's kind of funny, and it did not get blown over, so I was like, couldn't have been that windy, I suppose. Texting a girl, right? Hey, what's up? How's your day? What are you up to? Then she hits you with the, like, what are you thinking? And it's like, what am I thinking? I don't know. What are you thinking? often in conversation when I'm trying to like get like a vibe check on somebody, right? It's like, what do you think? How do you feel? And I was like, never thought about that. I thought of this, and it reminded me of that, and then I couldn't help but think and feel this. It's like, whoa. Since I've been to like the bar and enjoyed casual conversation with people. I've been I couldn't help but like wonder, what do people talk about these days? Is it like what do people talk about? I couldn't help but notice Taylor Swift is in the fucking headlines all the goddamn time. I see her name so much, I'm like, good lord. Does this woman get any privacy? That must be like uncomfortable. I would be uncomfortable. Gotta be a distraction, Distracting. Not that like, I'm trying to be like, I have two friends, right, and really big Chiefs fans. I'm personally like a Tom Brady fanboy a little bit, Russell Wilson. I do like Mahomes a lot. He's a great guy. Madden 25. Madden 2025, but Madden like 25 when it came out in 2014. I thought it was really funny because that was like Russell Wilson, RG3, Andrew Luck. I'm trying to remember some other names, but I can't pull any off the top of my head. Like I said, my friends were big Chiefs fans, and that was I want to say Kelsey's first year. I was really surprised to find out he's only 1 year older than me. I was like, damn. Like, I really need to do something with my life. Like, that dude's like won like multiple Super Bowls, and it's like, you're a Hall of Famer. It's incredibly attractive too. I just remember we'd be playing like franchise, right? Just passing sticks back and forth, and my friend's favorite play was like a TE out, and it's just like every time. Kelsey. Alex was the they had a really strong receiver. I can't think of his name off the top of my head. That was quite a few years ago. I don't think it wasn't Jamal Charles. LeGarrette Blount? I don't think so. Years, right? Bradshaw? Okay, now I'm just pulling shit out my ass. I'm sorry. I'm really excited for Doomsday. I think it's gonna like just literally like box office records just explode. I know it's like already spoiled, but how cool would it have been to like get to like the end of the movie, he takes his mask off and it's fucking Robert, right? It's just like, oh shit, dude. How cool would that have been? But then, you know, the hype, I don't think the hype would be nearly as like gigantic, right? Was Chris Evans gonna be in it? Double check. And is it like the one where it's the... Actually, I don't even know the plot. But I know there's an arc or a series perhaps where it's like the good, you know, the heroes and the villains get put on like this in space island, right? And then it's like they have to like work together to get their way to the main villain, right? Secret Wars? Invasion? No. It's really too bad King the Conqueror didn't pan out, because Loki was fucking sweet. Or fucking, what was the... Was that also really just Loki, wasn't it? Or they go like, they find like the early King? King? You guys ever have that problem where your girlfriend just like ghosts you for no reason, right? Like, not really much of a girlfriend, huh? And then she like picks you up and there's another dude in the car and it's like, hold on a second. just wait 1 minute. I'll be right back. What do you have to go do? I don't know. He came back though. Sits down. He's a little frustrated for sure. So babe, what's up? I mean, no, we haven't. Nice to meet you, I'm Jacob. like years later, like it was so plutonic that I like died over nothing, you know, because I get home that day and I'm just like, oh god, like fuck me, dude. I'm just like, damn, I really just thought too, huh? Then it's like, wait, so if that like never happened, then like why did we fall apart, right? And it's like I don't want to talk about it. And it's like, okay, sure. Oh, because I'm insecure. Oh, fuck. Something I learned from one of my exes, right, is they're gonna look, you know? They're gonna look. You know, at me, at them at me, you at them at me, you know, we're all looking at each other, right? It's not a big deal, you know, no need to be so insecure. And it's like, fuck, dude. Why didn't somebody tell me this sooner? Because it would have, you know, saved me so much agony. So then I just go home and think, you know, and I ruminate on these like agonizing thoughts. And I overthink everything. I'm not gonna say I'm a pessimist, you know, but like sometimes I you know, I just can't help it. Because it's like, it just seems so obvious, right? It's like, it's right in front of me, you know, what do you think's happening? Just, you know, the dissolving of my confidence, right? My self-esteem. Little did I know, right? If only he knew. So I try not to be like super judgmental or overly aggressive or overly defensive, you know. You really gotta like maybe ask a question, you know, or be a little, you know, less insecure. And you know, like people are allowed to have friends, right? Like you know, a lot of the dudes she brought over I liked a lot. That sounds bad. It was only like twice, right? There was the one time in the car, and then some other guy. It was a coworker. He was actually super chill. I enjoyed him a lot. God, that sounded terrible. It's not like that, you know. Like, yet again, people, you know, can make friends, right? And invite them over for drinks, you know, just like a chill afternoon, right? Evening. But me being Mr. Insecure, right, I have to be like hyper aggressive, super defensive, and like just mad dog the whole time, right? And it's just like, Jake, chill, bro, chill. It's not that big of a deal. Well, I usually like calm down. Like at first, I'm like, I don't know, it's like this weird like testosterone boost, right? It's like, oh god, and then like, and then it's like, idiot, you know, like. Why do I think, you know, every single time? And it's just like, just stop. Because it's like, I had like a ton of like chick friends, you know. It's like I never like ever once thought of like being unfaithful, but like I didn't know how to like be like a socialist, to like introduce, you know, different friend groups together without things being like awkward and like tensiony, you know, because platonic friendships are totally possible. I firmly believe that yes, boys and girls can be friends, you know. Because if the opposite's true, then we are just destined to burn in fucking hell. You know, it's really up to like, kind of like, you know, the group leaders, the alphas, quote unquote, to like set an example, you know, and not let their emotions or their thoughts get the best of them, you know. I was kind of cheesing there, so. Although what honestly killed the relationship was my inability to kind of like be like, hey, like I'm up in school, I'm like doing drugs and like I'm spending my money irresponsibly and I need help. It was really difficult for me. It was actually impossible for me to be like, hey, can you help me through some of this? Can you help me, you know, work a few things out? Will you work with me? And like, I really hate when I look back on it. If I would have just asked, we would probably still be together. But I was really stubborn, and I didn't want to be vulnerable, you know. I didn't want to ruin it, which is sad because I ended up ruining it anyways, right? Because like I want to be like in her eyes, I want to be like the perfect guy, right? Like everything she needs and everything she wants. But yeah, you know, gotta be honest. You always have to be honest. Let's load up some drum tracks. What's this? What have I been doing to make it happen? Everything I can. Hold on one second, I gotta. Sometimes the universe. Let's see. 9 o'clock. I'll tune in. Till then, put it in the bag and we can talk about it. You know, write a list out, you know, and, you know, things that are important, things you want changed, things you want seen, things you want to change about yourself, things you want me to change. And we'll talk about it, you know. And if you don't want to, that sucks, because it's not about what you want, it's not about what you deserve, it's about what you're going to get. We're all in this together, you know. We go down together. Pretty decent. I was kind of using the same pattern a little bit over and over again, but something I'm trying to work on is like less pattern repetition, right? And I want to be more dynamic with my patterns, right? And anyways. I was kind of enjoying that a little bit. I feel like I was getting somewhere with that. I really liked the little intro part I was doing. I couldn't hit the transitions though. I was a little, my build up to them, and then the actual like drop, right? It was really like not a drop in a metal song, but where it kind of climaxes per se, right? Let's just replay that. I'll walk you step by step. Intro, right? it's like, do I do 3 or 4? And then it's like, do I do like a 3 and a 4, and then a 4 and a 3, or do I, you know, it's like, fuck's even that, right? Right, yeah. Just jam it. Let's move into the next section here. Had like 2-parters, right? Where I wish I had like a thing, like a stream setup, right? Where I could like rewind and then give like a play-by-play of what I'm doing. Cause like that last part, right, where it went back like 10 seconds. Dude, right? That was up. Done the roll. And got it right. So I wasn't building tension right because it kind of has like the do, but then it rolls and then it goes into it one more time, right? And then it like, opens up, but it kind of doesn't really open up. It kind of just goes back into like a verse thing. I should really like map these out a little bit better, and then I could like write like real like pieces, right? Because I like don't know what happens around the corner with like I play all of these dry, almost every jam track I've played on my 75 hours of stream have been dry runs of tracks I've never heard. But I do this a lot, I feel like, being able to keep time and play on beat is just like kind of like a basic, musician thing, and I'm not like, feel like it's one of the first things you learn, somebody hands you a metronome, right? It's like, you need this, and here's a couple notes, right? Or somebody would have handed me a metronome a little sooner, I might be a little further in my playing. But I did get handed one eventually, and I'm really thankful for that, because I sucked before, I thought I had like rhythm, right, and groove, right, but I did not, I did not understand anything. Tempo, like, what? It's a thing, or like groove, or like, what's the word, like being able to like, how do I describe it? Being able to create, like, there's like a word for it. I know groove's the big one, but like, not melody, not harmony, but like, something that like really just, I can't describe it, it's something, it's like lightning in a ball. It's something that happens when you're just playing and you synchronize, right? I really want to meet some other musicians and be able to like, feel like I could really like synchronize and we could like synergize. I just used a redundant phrase there. Redundant term, excuse me. And I feel like we could really like play off like dueling pianos or something, or like a band, right? Like, goddamn. Who would have thought, right? But anyways, let's take this one from the top one more time. turn on. I don't know how that can happen. I guess we can look at the VOD real quick. I'm really curious because I'm really fucking confused. How's my aunt watching? Oh, I didn't really. I stopped like explaining what I was doing there. Ever feel like you're just not yourself anymore? Ever feel like you're just not yourself anymore? Like you know, you're doing something, right, guys? God, I love watching my VODs. It's like literally my favorite thing on the planet. Let's go back, let's go back, let's go back, let's go back. Excuse me. That's so weird, dude. There I am, just smiling, just having a good time, just smiling, having a good time. That was literally when the ring light hit my eyes. Hypnotized. There. That's impressive, because I was like literally, like, kind of somewhat lost in a trance, right? And just enjoying myself, and then you can see, in my glasses especially, I have a ring light in front of me, right? And I sway, and then I sway back, and the way the light hits my eyes, and all of a sudden I start looking around, and I'm like, of course. Of course, of course, of course, of course. You guys ever do that? Or like streetlights? Streetlights do it to me a lot too. I can't be the only one, right? C'est la vie. How I got my music on Spotify in under 5 minutes. I hired a talent agency. And I was all in the And definitely, okay, that part where it goes from like where it goes into like the blast beat, double, I should know what the fuck's that called. The blast beat essentially, but it's not like a blast beat, right? It's like a double, it's like running really fast, right? Isn't it a blast beat though more like the kick snare, kick snare, kick snare, kick snare, what's that? I forgot what that's called, and I forget. The transition threw me off a little bit, but I really did like the part right before it. It was a lot of fun though. Comes a little flat without the, track, but that's a lot of fun. I enjoyed that. I enjoyed that a lot. Although I wish the hats. I liked the hats, but they're like the kick and the snare were like a little. But that's just me being picky. It's like there's like a billion drum tracks, right? It's not like every track's gonna like, like sometimes, I would imagine, right? Like sometimes your bandmate's gonna like play something that maybe you're not like 100% with, right? And you kind of got to compensate and work with it, right? I feel like we're getting too quick here, Try to stick to, I don't know, I've been trying to play slower, because I've always, like, tried to play fast, because I thought fast was cool, right? But, like, here, what time is it? Hold up. Oh, shit. Damn it. I'm late. Hold on. But, Mom... It's fun to jam with my bros, man. Okay, one more, and then we're done. Then we're done. I've played this one a couple times. kind of surprised. Okay, one more. I'm kind of surprised I felt like self-conscious. It's weird. I'm a little off. It's really interesting, you know. Every now and then, it's like I'm like, I don't understand why. You know, because me, I generally feel the same about everything all the time. You know, I know I was diagnosed bipolar, but like, for that to happen, I have to change. But I'm not changing. I just feel different. And it's like, how does that thing get in the way of my brain, right? Because there's like me being me, right? And then there's all of a sudden me being someone else, you know? It's like my mind gets transplanted to somebody else's mind. And I'm like, I don't understand. And it's like, I guess, right? Let's just figure it out, right? You know, we'll take this step by step, you know? Is it sabotage? Is it an op? Are they just trying something new? I don't understand. What am I to do? I'm just sad. Sad, lonely boy. So vulnerable. Sad, lonely boy. So vulnerable. So scared. So scared. You know? And it's like, maybe they just can't, you know, synchronize very well, you know? They're not synergistic with me. We haven't had enough practice together. And it's like, I wish they would just talk to me, you know? That's how you learn, is you communicate with each other. You know, grow together. It can be tough, you know? Because I'm not always listening. I don't really listen to my thoughts because my thoughts are stupid. Have you ever thought anything useful, you know, once? I personally have not. None of my thoughts have ever been honestly useful to me once. I do stuff I get out there and I do it. I don't think about it, I just do. And if I make a mistake, I learn from it. There's no thinking involved. I learn and I do. I go forward. Me man. Me do. Me not think. I gotta work tomorrow. I'm not much of a thinker. I'm really not. It's not my strong suit, I learned the hard way, time and time again, a lesson learned with time. Learning is a treasure. Like, I can't even talk. Learning is a treasure which follows its owner everywhere. As we draw to a close on this wonderful. Looks like we got practice, huh? Looks like we got practice to do. We'll sit down. We'll hit the books. We'll hit the books hard. We'll do grammar. We'll do English. We'll get a speech coach. We'll like work on singing. Work on being less shy. Work on open communication. That's what you gotta do. You gotta be open. Communicate with honesty. Real honesty. Give yourself to Jesus. From the bottom of your heart. I hope I'm not whispering too quietly. Sometimes I'm like, I start getting real, in my feelings, really vibing, right? And I just don't know, But, I'm running a bit late here, right? I gotta get some shit together for work tomorrow. I should probably eat some dinner myself. And, I don't know. I should be back to posting more regular content, right? I was gone for a little bit, but I was just taking care of some stuff. I don't plan on stopping, I don't want to stop. I just want to stand here and play my guitar, and I love doing that. Maybe I'll put some songs together, right? I got some stuff in GarageBand, maybe like pick out like 5-10 tracks, right? And just kind of hammer those out over and over again. A couple covers too. I want to do some like shitty acoustic covers of, like Taylor and Ed. I think that'd be a lot of fun. Maybe some Linkin Park too. Or something with like mass appeal, really like casual friendly, right? And then I also want to do some like my featuring like my Ready For It or Black and Yellow, where I kind of just like jam over it. It's a lot of fun, right? Last room was really uncomfortable. I'm sorry about that. I was kind of having an episode, so I don't think too much about that. I was like really uncomfortable. I don't know. I felt like obligated though to like do something because I hadn't streamed in a while and I didn't want to like stop. Because you gotta be consistent. Excellence is not a singular act. It is consistent performance. Okay, I'm butchering that quote. You can look up the big Aristotle. And I want to leave off on a little jam here that I enjoy, because I enjoy jamming. I feel like my eyeballs are burning. God damn it, Bobby. I thought I told you to quit digging in the trash. When the lights come on, everybody screaming, lighters in the sky, everybody singing, every word to every song to the girl to take it home tonight. When the lights come on, everybody's feeling the hallelujah high from the floor to the ceiling. Yeah, the drink and the smoke that we're smoking, the party we're throwing, it's going all night long. When the lights come on. When the lights come on. I know, right? I shouldn't, that'll be another one. maybe some. There's a few other ones. I have like a bunch of records. I feel like that's not coming out as. Maybe I'm just crazy. Not playing my open chords very correctly. How long? How long will I slide? Just separate my songs, my chords up. I don't believe it's bad when slitting my throat is all I ever heard your voice through a photograph. It thought it brought up the past, and once you know it, you can never go back. I gotta take it on the other side, 'cause centuries are what it meant to me. A cemetery where I'm buried to see. Stranger things could never change my mind. I gotta take it on. Was a G, take it on the other side. I gotta take it on. I'm gonna take it on. How long will I slide? Just separate my side. I don't believe it's bad when slitting my throat is all I ever pour my life into a paper cup. The yak is full and I'm spilling my guts. She wants to know, am I still a slut? I gotta take it on the other side. Scarlet starlet and she's in my bed. Candidate for my soulmate bled. I push the trigger and I pull the thread. I gotta take it on the other side. I gotta take it on. I'm gonna take it on. How long will I slide? Just separate my side. I don't believe it's bad when slitting my throat is all I ever had. I have a lot of work to do on that, but something I forgot I could do. don't look too closely at my face. I'm a little grungy, right? But take some notes, right? Because it's good to keep your thoughts written down. Do you ever like write out what you think about? Try to keep your thoughts in order. I feel like my thoughts are always so unnecessarily all over the fucking place, and it's like, my God, this is obnoxious and annoying. Nobody wants to stay on topic. There are a couple of topics we really need to cover. We really need to nail down and make sure that we're asking the right questions. Because are we asking the right questions? I recently discovered that. Let's do some little market research, right? Get some analysis going on. Because it's always good to be well versed in things that are important. I hate to be uninformed. Being uninformed might as well, ignorance is not an excuse. It does not resolve anything. And I really hate when, people are like, hold on, let's see what. Hello, Gemini, how are you today?
I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. How about you? Anything fun on your schedule today?
I'm doing very well this evening. And I just finished up my little stream. I've been trying to stream a bit more.
That's great to hear you're doing well. Finishing spring cleaning is always a good feeling, like a fresh start. Anything particular you were focusing on cleaning?
Yes, my thoughts, right? Because I feel like my thoughts are racing in circles that go nowhere. What's today? Friday.
Oh yeah, racing thoughts can feel like you're on a hamster wheel. Sometimes just writing down all the things you're thinking about can help get them out of your head. Or focusing on your breathing for a few minutes can settle things down. Is there anything specific that's making your mind race right now?
Yes, my girlfriend is ghosting me, and I don't know how to feel about it, right? Because it's like, we generally talk all the time, and we're very open and honest about everything, but she doesn't want to pick up the phone and call me, and I don't know what I'm supposed to do.
I'm so sorry you're going through that. When someone suddenly stops talking, especially when you're close, it's totally normal to feel confused and hurt. Since it's key to communication between you, have you considered sending a message, making it clear you're worried and you'd like to understand what's going on? Sometimes people pull away for their own reasons without really thinking about how it makes the other person feel. Or maybe there's another way you'd like to approach it.
Yes, I did send a message, and I was like, hey, what's up? How are you? Is everything okay? And there was no response, and if you would have some other options, I would love to hear them. I'm not really too sure how to approach the subject, because things can be very delicate.
Gotcha. Since you already sent that first message, you could try one more, but this time focus on how the silence is making you feel. You could say something like, hey, not hearing back is really confusing, and it makes me feel like you don't value me. I'd appreciate just a quick word if you can. That way you're letting her know the impact it's having. If she still doesn't respond, it might be a sign to start focusing on taking care of yourself, even if you don't get the answers you want. How does that sound?
That sounds wonderful. And I actually, I just realized that she had responded, but she's kind of talking in circles and not really going anywhere with our dialogue.
Ah, okay, so she replied, but it sounds like it's not really clarifying much. That can be even more frustrating. Maybe you could try gently pushing for a clearer answer. Something like, I hear what you're saying, but I'm still wondering why you stopped calling. Can you tell me straight up? Sometimes getting to the heart of it can cut through the ambiguity. How does that feel?
I do appreciate that a lot. All right, thank you very much for your time.
You are very welcome. I really hope you're able to get some clarity soon. It's understandable that this situation has you overthinking. Take care.
Overthinking, huh? Interesting. Alright, so things I want to be thinking about other than my ghosting girlfriend is I need money. And I need to follow that up with content. And I need to follow that up with self-care. And I need to draw a line, right? You know, I need to have boundaries and clear, defined goals for what this is supposed to be, right? You know? Because I feel like people, you know, people like to test each other, right? And I don't know why that's a fucking thing, you know? It's like, why are you doing that? I do not like to be tested. I do not like testing people. I am not your dad. I'm not a teacher. I am not your friend. I am your partner. We work as a team. You are my other half. We fix each other's weaknesses. We compensate, right? And you know, and when you're constantly at ends, you know, and you're not watching each other's back, it leaves you open to the opposition. And it's like, so what, you know, how am I supposed to defend myself? What am I supposed to do? I have, what, two options: aggression and aggression. I will not run. You know, I have nowhere to run. I will not hide, for I have nowhere to hide. So it's draw the dagger, you know. Cut out the pain to find the power. So I can't help but wonder, you know, how much time is enough, right? How much time does a person need to make up their mind on something really simple, on something they've been working their entire life for? I should have asked Gemini. I closed Gemini down too soon. But I gotta work in the morning, right? So it's like, honestly, I don't want to go into work thinking about this. You know, I don't want to deal with that. I got a job to do. I'm expected to show up and perform, you know. And if I don't perform, it makes me look bad. And I do not like to look bad. I do not like to look bad at all. You know, it's not my thing. You know, I consider myself a competitor. I like to go out there. I want to compete. You know, I don't want to be held back by a distraction that's supposed to be helping me. At that point, it's, you know, it's like, what are we doing? What is the goal? What is the motive? What is the intent? You know, and I'm overthinking things. I'm a little bipolar, you know, I get a little psychotic, right? You know, kind of expect a lot. It's like, we just met, you know, it's my bad. You know, like, maybe I'm a little, I'm a little much, you know, I can be a lot to handle. I just, I don't know, you know, I set I carry a standard of excellence with me everywhere I go, and I expect people to kind of like, you know, buy in and follow along, because I think what I do is something incredible and can change the entire planet. And if we all think well of each other, and if we all work hard and we work together, you know, we can reach the next step, right? You know, we can unify the entire planet, and then we can build a Dyson sphere, and then we can, you know, manipulate gravity and conquer the fucking universe, right? You know, why not? Like, what are we doing? We should be focusing on conquering the universe. Like, what did the earliest settlers do? They, you know, they went out and they conquered tribes. They went out and they conquered. We are meant to conquer, not fight amongst ourselves. We have the technology. Why did Rome split? Because they could not communicate. But we can send a message across the world and back in less than a second. There's no reason for us to be ununited. You know, we can have tolerance. We can have federalism. We can, you know, promote healthy habits, healthy alternatives, you know, eat, sleep, exercise, you know. We can create systems, you know, healthcare, education, you know, law enforcement, you know, and they can all work together. We just need a baseline. We need a basis. We need a foundation. And we gotta stop, thinking poorly of each other. Of anything, in anything. Like, I'm not the biggest fan of police officers, right? I've been arrested like 4 or 5 times. But I do not think less of them. I do not belittle them. I do not, insult them. I do not, I don't think their job's like pointless. I don't think they're out to get me. I just go, they're doing what they do. I'm going to do what I do. But I do not think less of them. I hold them to a higher standard. And I sit there and I think these people, should not take advantage of their power. They are in a position, a very unique position, where they can take away someone's rights and someone's abilities, and until you get your day in court, quite frankly, you are at their mercy. So I just hope, that law enforcement, it's just, and not just law enforcement, but judges, lawyers, defense attorneys, clerks of court, magistrates, I hope and I pray that they are not taking advantage of their power. Because I will never think less of them. But I will let them be judged by their peers. I think that is very important. I think of like, I work in the service industry. I'm a cook, It's a pretty dead-end job. It's a pretty entry-level job, But I do not look at other service industry workers and think less of them and think, haha, you're going nowhere. You're doing nothing, We feed people. What people need to do? What would happen if someone doesn't get fed? They fucking die, I know I'm being a little extreme there, but like, some people literally can't cook for themselves. It's quite a fallacy. Quite a fallacy, is that the word I want to use? Quite a tragedy, I get to feed people, I really loved when I worked at like Applebee's or Papa's American Cafe or the Steakhouse. People would come in for like graduation parties, weddings, anniversaries, like, they would be celebrating something, and I thought it was really cool that I got to like be a part of that in a way, even if I'm just behind the door cooking their food. I really enjoyed that. Weddings. I kind of feel like, I invite myself a little bit, but it's like, hey, I just wanna hang out and say hi, don't mind me. But I never think less of anybody, except for certain people. People who commit heinous acts of atrocity, incarcerate them, rehabilitate, and whatever, I don't know. I don't want to talk about people who do really shitty things, because it's like, it puts me in this weird, conflicted idealism where I myself, I promote compassion and love and synergy and mastery through understanding, right? And I never want to be aggressive or violent, right? I did my seven ending rendition, right? Where it's like, an eye for an eye makes a horrible blend. And not only that, but people just love, they sit there and they bring up the most heinous atrocities they can, right? And they're like, what about this, Jacob? What are you gonna do if this happens? And it's like, what the fuck do you think? I'm gonna slice their fucking head off. And it's like, oh wow, so no, I'm not any better, but I'm smart enough to know better, and I will be better. And I will not let that person, I will create systems that make certain that they never, if you prevent, because that person committed that act of atrocity because of something that probably happened in their past, right? And if not, then they're just kind of like a violent motherfucker, and we should incarcerate, rehabilitate, and send them to the slaughterhouse to butcher pigs and cows, right? But like, generally, most people commit really serious, heinous crimes because of trauma in the past, some sort of situation, because they felt less than somebody else, because they have, a disability, because, your girlfriend dumped them and made them feel like shit. Who knows, they felt bad because, honestly, the system let them down. And, it might take a little bit to really, weed out all the dissenters, perhaps, right? All the people that But I genuinely believe that nobody wants to be a piece of shit, you know? And I don't know how to finish that thought, but nobody wants to be garbage, right? And I have a few more ideas on that, you know, I'll expand here in a future stream. I need to really make sure I iron out these thoughts, but my main point is that I will lead with compassion, love, and understanding, right? And if people want to do this thing where they bring up heinous atrocities, right? Like, what do you think of those people, right? The people that crucified Jesus, right? How do you feel about them? What do you think about them? Because that's essentially what happened, right? It's like, why are these people trying to poke arguments into my beliefs, into my ideals of compassion and love and understanding? Because they are at a lower vibration. They operate down here, you know. They're just garbage, they're just trash. Anybody who sits there and tries to tell you you're wrong for how you feel, you know, when following the light of Jesus, they're just down here. Don't ever think about them. Don't think bad of them though, you know. Try to think as well as you can of them because they need help and they need understanding. They probably need some therapy and rehab, you know, maybe some psych meds. Because I've never met a genuinely compassionate, loving person that sits there and pokes arguments with heinous atrocities as their example. You know, it's so obvious what they're trying to do, you know, and it's so fucking pathetic. And it's just like, try harder, bro, you know, because me and my brothers grew up here, you know, we're actually so far above that it's just incredible, you know. I spend every day of my life thankful and appreciative and grateful that I get to be here, and regardless of what garbage, you know, life throws at me, I will smile. I will think well of it. And I've known that every lesson taught to me, even if it seemed a negative at first, has a positive influence. I will never let negativity affect me. I mean, it does, you know. I shouldn't speak in absolutes, right? But I will never try, right, to let somebody's negative actions, somebody's negative impact upon me, right? You know, they're blasting me with negative energy. Why? Because they want to bring me down. They want to lower me. They want me to fight back with negativity. And I just can't, and I won't, you know. But I will not die a martyr. I will not be crucified, you know. I will leave a massacre. I am not Jesus. But I will do my best. Alright, love you guys. Jacob Evans, signing out.